Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Efrain Rodriguez Jr. show. In today's episode, I'm about to tell you something that I really had to go out, really breathe in, breathe out fresh air because it's a hard topic. I'm not gonna talk about it directly to what it just happened on the massacre in Texas, but I'm gonna talk about what it's this politicians are talking about gun control, and this is from the newspaper First Hour. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. That's the way that the algorithm here in YouTube works, and that YouTube recommend it to other people that are not my friend, and I just send this every single day. First Hour newspaper in Puerto Rico. The gun control is sterilized debate crash in the United States Congress. Democrats and Republicans stage their abysmal differences over gun control, which prevents further regulation. Senate Democrats leader Chuck Schumer was blunt in an address of the House floor about the need of gun controls, blaming Republicans for blocking any bill. His words were completely ignored by the leader of the Republican minority in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, who committed himself to lamenting the loss of life in Texas school without linking to it firearms. Okay, Second Amendment. And this is something that, we've been on for a very long time, since 1776, since we have our independence from the English people. We kept our arms because that was a way to secure our freedom in the United States of America. As a Puerto Rican, I went to the newspaper and I was just looking at the commentary from people in Puerto Rico. I'm not gonna call them ignorance because listen, if you don't know something, maybe you just repeat what people on the Senate or on the news repeat over and over and over. It doesn't mean because they're repeating that it's how it works. And for me to come here and try to explain this to you from the countryside in Puerto Rico in Villalba, it's kind of hard. I don't want to be disrespectful to no one. I respect your position, but in the Constitution there is a Second Amendment that protects that we can keep our arms. It's not our firearms, and it's not that with this it is a purpose, and it was the reason why we're keeping our firearms. Because if the government comes intrinsic and it comes oppressor into we the people, no wonder we can rise up and fix the things. Because civil war happened for a reason, and people don't talk a lot about that. But now it sounds like it smells like in the air, like all these differences, and one party really wants, and Joe Biden's been saying it bluntly, he wants to take that arms away from firearm from the people, the assault weapons. And it's in the Constitution. Is one of our amendments and our rights that is on the Constitution. So when I see people talking, saying the stuff that repeat from the left or from the Democrat side, they just wanna gun control. And you see that even here in Puerto Rico, there's such a big gun control. I heard today the way the guys from the sells the arm and had the business of selling arms and firearms and everything. They were saying like in here is such a regulated topic that people from the street know that not a lot of people got weapons to defend themselves or defend their family or defend anything because of the laws in this island of Puerto Rico. So I've been learning this because I never was involved with this. I my last 15 years was in New York. I'm being here for around 20 months. So it's not like I'm jumping into, let me see what these people are doing. And no, I learn on the fly, and I come here to give my opinion and my 2 cents and move on to the next news. And tomorrow is another day, like it always happened. So from here, we are going to go to something that it's our president of the United States is talking, and they're putting a lot of pressure on it. And the pressure they're putting on him is, and this is from the newspaper, the spokesperson, Joe Biden pressure to pay off student loans debt. How about, they like kind of do that question into the headline. It's kind of like, yeah. And I heard people that the way they had set up the student loans, it's like this minimum amount for 10 years or whatever, and then not paying double of what the money they took. But in a sense, it helped them because at that time they needed the loan to pay their tuition or whatever. So, and I hear that from a guy that they want to fix their credit, but they cannot because they cannot even pay off the student loan. Ridiculous, but that is the way it is. Approximately 45 million Americans have outstanding student loans debt totaling more than 1.9 trillion. This is with a T. This is big, So one of the things that I was looking at the news, and I just gonna read you what I saw. Like, oh, this is kind of awkward, but let me just bring it here, and then you listen to it. And the news is not only about what I'm about to tell you, because read the whole newspaper, I'll be here an hour or so, and we're not in that far out yet. Maybe in the future when we have more people and we have like a regular show that it goes on at a certain time, maybe we can go for 30 minutes and then we go for an hour or whatever. But for now, I'm trying to keep it under 20 minutes. Try to have people happy around the whole world. Sometimes they don't even watch the video, but listen, I'm here and I'm going to do my work, my part. So Black Americans are disproportionately affected, with Black graduates owing nearly twice as much in student loans after 4 years of graduation compared with the white students, according to data published by The Guardian. This is like newspaper. They had this data and they just proportion it to the newspaper, and that's how we hear about this. Why this has to be an issue between Black or white? It's about personal responsibility. When I went to college, I went, and if I had to pay, I get a job, and then my tuition I paid on my own. I did 1 year paying on my own. It was not easy, but I did it. But when I was on the Pell Grant, or I was with the program, hey, I did it. My dad helped me part of it with the tuition, and I work. So I also bought my books and did everything. Do you see the part of being responsible? But now it's kind of hard because the credits now, it's like astronomical. The prices are like crazy. So now that's why they offer this to the students, in order for the student to finish, they finish with the career and in debt. So, but at least they finish with the career, and then they got to go out there and start looking for work and do so on and whatever. But the thing is, the pressure they put on him, because they want to eliminate this. So the part about that is, so it doesn't really work, because if I'm responsible, why they cannot be responsible as well? So why they are so different than me? Like, even on the news, when I read the news, why do you have to make the difference between black and white? What about Latinos? What about Asian? What about other, Muslim or other places? America, it's chinitos. A lot of people in America. So why do I have to be about black and white? Black and white. So all I see is that this pushing, and putting into our brains this division in between the black and the white, and the black is more affected. We had to help the black because we were a racist nation. You know what I'm saying? And it's absolutely ridiculous that we are seeing this into that point. You go to college, you don't really have to go to college. Be a carpenter or be a welder or do other things that maybe you use your hands. Maybe you make more money that way. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just giving you tips. Maybe listen to them. So for the last one of today's episode is our Governor Pedro Pierluisi. And in today, I kind of like found this headline. It was kind of like, listen, you don't have some. I guess to be a governor, you don't have to really be that smart, or when you choose your words. But this is the title that they use on the newspaper. Andy Pierluisi on the rise in crime. Unfortunately, incidents are going to happen that there are no way to prevent them. The governor indicates that the strategy is to get tougher against criminals. The strategy is to get tougher, fix everything that is being done. Just today, we had a major operation by the federal authorities to combat drug trafficking, which is the genesis and it's the origin of much of this violence. Not all of it. There's some violence, all kinds here, including they had to put gender violence, with this inclusivity, words and vocabulary that is not related to drug trafficking, but to a greater extent, the violence comes from the drug trafficking, said the governor, Pedro Pierluisi, at the conclusion of the press conference at the Puerto Rico Museum of Art. So, this has happened every single day. The guy had to wake up and he's the governor of the island, Oh, we have a problem. So how can you fix it? I mean, you're in charge. So if you're in charge, you have the tools in your hands to fix it. All I'm saying is, you've been in office for close to 2 years now in November. Not 2 years because you really started in January. And then you took out those 2 months, and we are in May. You're not a year and a half. I'm gonna give you a year and a half. How is it from the get-go and the beginning? Is how you're gonna control this. But if you wait until everything is like kind of out of control, it's kind of be like the dog chasing the tail. And it's kind of late into the situation. Should it be this done before? You already have the people, that, where they sell it. Come on. The police know. They have their agents on the street. They know where everything is moved. Every single corner. So if that is what you're saying, we're going to get tougher. And I remember back in the days, Zelda was the name of what they did. They went hard and everything kind of calmed down a little bit. I was listening to Noti Uno, and we are like the fifth in the nation on this kind of violence and diehard crimes around the whole island. Why not I mean, we are 100 by 35 miles. Why we not like the best places on earth to live? You know, and it's kind of part of what is it to be governing an island. I guess I'm gonna cut it right here. Appreciate all of you that are listening to this show. We're gonna continue coming here, bringing our 2 cents and bringing all the most relevant news headlines of the day, pretty much. So I'll be seeing you back tomorrow, and God bless. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to share with your friends and family. From Palma Sola, Villalba, Puerto Rico, your host Efrain Rodriguez Jr. in Efrain Rodriguez Jr. Show. God bless.